Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that one of our admin sent to me. And the translation reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as anonymous? I am someone that is very cruel towards my own son. But at least now I have found a place where I can just express myself. For what I have done, I cannot share it with people that I know. At church, they even think that I am an angel because of some of the things that I have done in church, how I have helped the men of God to start up another ministry that takes care of those that do not have parents, those that have parents that are poor. But no one knows that my child, who is back in Eastern Cape with my mother, is a crippled. My parents, they don't even know that in this province where I am staying, not wanting to mention the name of the province, just for my own safety and for people not to know that it is I who sent you this confession. I have been told by the person that assisted me to do money-making rituals that the more that my son suffers, the better. If he suffers, then it is okay. It will mean that I will keep on making money. There is a snake that comes to me and we perform a love-making ritual. And after that love-making ritual, it depends with how much I would have impressed this snake with the love-making. I have to give it all. I have to please this snake, even though it gets painful at times, because when it sleeps with me, it inserts its tail into my private parts, and it will be looking at me, looking at my movement. You can't cheat a snake. It will look at me, looking for signs that I am in pain. If I show that I am in pain, then on that night, it won't be able to vomit as much money as it would have vomited the day when I'll show that I am enjoying. This snake, usually it comes around 8. I prefer if it comes late at night. Sometimes if it comes early in the morning, it is better because I would have rested throughout the night. But the day that it comes to me at 8 p.m., I know that throughout the night I will not sleep. I survive by drinking different types of pills just to reduce the pain. Sometimes I can even take a hot water bottle and press it on my stomach because it will be so painful. Sometimes I laugh at myself because I will be having the hot water bottle pressed against my abdomen, and then I will have a small packet that will be full of ice blocks pressed against my private parts. On my abdomen, it will be painful as if there is something that is stuck in my womb that wants to come out. But as for my private parts, right on top of my private part, it will be so hot and painful. Only after I would have placed the ice blocks on top of my private parts, that is when I'll start to feel better. I do this whenever it comes because when it sleeps with me, when it inserts its tail into my private parts, it will be so painful. It can even tear me with its scaly skin. And when we are done, it goes down onto the floor and the money will start to come out. This snake, it has a man's manhood. This manhood, it is hidden inside of its tail. And the moment that it starts to enjoy, that's when the manhood will come out. So this manhood, as it will be forcing itself out of my private parts, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it will end up tearing the skin on my private parts. To other people, that will be listening to my confession, when I mentioned that I make love to the snake, they picture a woman and a serpent enjoying sex. But this is not about enjoying. Each and every time when it happens, it's like someone takes me straight to hell and punish me just for a couple of minutes. This, whenever it happens, it might be 2-3 minutes, but those 3 minutes will feel like an hour or 2 hours of intense, painful love making. You will feel the manhood inside of you pressing itself against your womb, as much as it is very painful, but still you need to show the snake that you are enjoying each and every moment of the ritual. The snake, as it pulls itself away from my body, it also pulls its manhood out of my private parts. It's like I give birth every night. If you know pain, labor pain, I experience that whenever the snake comes to make love to me. I thank God that it does not come to me every day, otherwise I will die. But the day that this snake will come to make love to me, I will feel it in my body. Even my body is afraid of the pain. I will start to shake, to feel nervous. I won't even be able to eat or to do anything because I'll be anticipating the pain that will be waiting for me when the sun would have gone down. But things were not like this. My mother was quite unfortunate. She was a single mother, and then she started dating another man who used her and dumped her after they had finished building their house, and he moved in with another woman. She retired back to the village, and she never wanted to set her feet in the city again because of the pain that she was given by our father. My mom is quite a strong woman. I feel so sorry for the pain that she is going through. Even though I am living a very beautiful life, people that see me, those that know me, they just said, she made money because of a Nigerian that she was dating. But even though the Nigerian that I dated was the one who helped me to live a soft life, like the life that I am living, but he is also the one who placed this curse upon my life. It was back in 2018. I was working as a waitress at this other restaurant. That was when I met the guy. He used to come and buy some takeaways at the place where I was working. He was always alone. And then there was this other day when I realized that I was in love with the guy. He came with a woman, and I felt my heart breaking. When I went to give him the food, the takeaway, he looked at me and he smiled. I was even unable to hide that I was not okay. I kept on looking at the girl that he was with. The next day he came alone. He ordered the food that he used to order. And then when I went to give him the food, that was when he said, "Do you love me?" I was so nervous at that time. I did not even know how to respond to him. And he said, "I know that you love me. I saw it yesterday." I could not even answer him. He said that he wanted my phone number. I even forgot my phone numbers. He just laughed and he wrote his phone number on a piece of paper. Me and him, we started talking. I was using an old Hisense phone that would freeze too many times. The guy bought me an iPhone a couple of days after we had started dating. He told me that he had so much money and he was willing to upgrade me. Then the guy told me that he was going to Nigeria the following week, and he said, "When I return, I am going to give you something. If you are serious," he said, "you will never need to wait tables again." He gave me money. He was very responsible, and he said that this is the money that you are going to use when I am not around. He then came back. When he came back, This was 2 weeks later. He gave me camphor cream, if you know it, that white one in grams. When I opened it, I saw that there were old copper coins that were inside. He told me that I was supposed to use it each and every day. After I would have bathed, I was not supposed to use any other lotion except for the camphor cream. And if it get finished, I'll buy another one, and then I'll take the old copper coins and give it back to him. After that, that was when I started to make money at work. There were days when I will make 12K as a waitress, like people just giving me money randomly, because at the restaurant, it was a high-end restaurant in the suburbs. There were people that had money, but for you to make 12K on a day as a waitress, it was unheard of. Even my boss asked me how I was speaking to these clients. Was I asking for the money? But no. I said, no, I'm not asking for the money. He even looked at the CCTV camera because he thought that maybe I was trying to get some donations. Because at the restaurant, usually when the person will be using card, he will write also that he has tipped you so much, then you will get it at the end of the month. So my boss saw that the money that I was going to get, it was going to be too much. So he started telling me that if I start to make so much money on a single day, then it was going to be very difficult. If someone would try to give me a tip, I was supposed to deny that tip. So what was happening, Brother Nash, because of the charms that I was using, if I would serve a person and when that person would want to give me a tip, it did not make sense that someone ordered food for 800 rands and then they want to tip me 1.2, 1.3. That person, after I would have told the person that, no, there is no need for you to give me so much, it is okay. That person will force me to take the e-wallet and will say, okay, here's the screenshot. This is your e-wallet. I have done a 2K e-wallet for you. When you are going home, please collect it. And people were doing this. I spoke with a Nigerian guy, and then he told me that it was working. And since it was working, we were supposed to thank the God and the ancestors. I went to his apartment. When I arrived at his apartment, then that was when we did a ritual. In that ritual, that was when a snake was summoned. In his bedroom, he has this very big mirror. So he said that we were supposed to make love. And whilst we were making love, there were things that appeared in the mirror that I can't even properly describe. It was as if there was something that was burning inside of the mirror. That is the best way that I can describe. Then I saw many eyes. I really do not know how to say it to you, but I saw many eyes that were looking at us as we made love. And then I just fell fast asleep. When I woke up, that was when I saw that there was a small plate that was on the floor. This plate, it was full of blood, and in the middle of that plate, there was an egg. So he told me to drink the blood. And when I said, how about you? And he said, no, this is not my cup to drink, but it is yours. So I drank the blood. I struggled because it smelled like real human blood. So I struggled for about 2 hours whilst I was drinking that blood that was inside of that plate. It was quite a lot. And when I was done, that was when he told me to go into the bathroom. And I was supposed to put the egg right between my legs so that when I'll be urinating, I would be cleaning the blood that was on the egg. So I did that when I was feeling like I needed to urinate. I went to the bathroom, entered into the tub, and then I started urinating on the egg as I was cleaning it. He told me to carry this egg and go back with it back home. At that time, I was still staying with my daughter and my 2 sons. So he had told me that amongst my boys, I was supposed to choose one. The same thing that I had done, I was supposed to make my son do it. So the elder one, who understood like life, what happens in life, I saw that it would be weird for me to do such a thing. So I ended up using my 6-year-old son. When I arrived back home, I said, Mommy is going to bath you tonight, this and that. And I bought juice for them because I knew that at night, if they drink, then they'll urinate quite a lot. So I was like, guys, take your juice, eat your pizza, but make sure that you do not pee in bed. And then I took my son, the one who was 6 years old at that time when I performed this ritual, and I said, tonight you're going to sleep with Mommy. And I took him to my bedroom, and I was like, before we sleep, I'm going to wash you. So I took him to the bathroom. He was in the bathtub, and I said, when last did you pee? I don't want you to pee on my bed. So he did the pee. It was not quite a lot. I left the egg inside the bathtub. It was not fully cleaned. So whenever he would wake up, because he was scared to walk alone at night, when I would have switched off the light, he would be like, Mommy, I want to go and pee. So I would go with him to the toilet, and then he would get into the bathtub. He even asked me, like, why was he peeing in the tub, not peeing into the toilet directly? But he did not know that I was using him for those rituals until the egg was clean. So the last time when we went to the bathroom, it was somewhere maybe around 2 a.m. I'm not sure. That was when I saw that the egg had hatched. And the creature that had hatched, I did not even have any idea that it was a snake. I only saw the eggshells. The next morning, that was when I called the Nigerian dude, and he told me to relax. I kept on making money, like in ways that were just funny. I would get out of the house, I'll pick up money. The day when the president was on the TV announcing the lockdown, I was performing a love ritual with a snake for the first time. On that day, me and the kids, like we were watching TV, waiting for the announcement. That was when I heard a voice that told me to go to the bedroom. I went to my bedroom, and then that was when I started to feel sleepy. So I locked the door, and then I got into bed. When I got into bed, I saw a vision. There was a snake that appeared in front of me, and it told me that it was my husband. It wanted to make me its wife for the rest of my life, and if I agree, I will enjoy. It made love to me on that night. It was not painful. And after that, that was when I saw that, as I had seen in a vision, the money was there on the floor. There were bundles of 2020 and a 10K bundle. I had seen this in a vision. I saw money that was bundled together. I picked it up and I saw that on top it was written 20. When I woke up from that vision, after the snake had disappeared, that was when I saw that there was money. I counted the money. It was 250K. I was so excited. I screamed. Even my kids, they got scared. They came and they started hitting the door, thinking that maybe someone had entered into the bedroom. I opened and I showed them the money. They were also excited. They did not know where the money came from. My son got so sick, Brother Nashi. And then I was told to take him back home. And I took my son to my mom. I was even driving a new car at that time when I took my son back to my mom. I left my son with my mom. The Nigerian guy told me that the more that he experienced pain, the more that this snake gets power to give me money. He then brought with him from Nigeria a doll, those ones that they call voodoo dolls. So whenever I want my son to be sick, I take a set of needles, then I'll start to press the needles into that voodoo doll, thereby making my son to be more sick in his knees, on his spine, in his head, and where I press the most, that is where it will be hurting him the most. Even when my mom says, you have to return back home to see your child because he is always complaining. He asks, where is mommy? But I can't face my own son. When I go there, I have to get high. I have to drink so much, not as to focus on him. And I can't give him attention, because if I show him the love of a parent, then it means that I will make less money. This is my own confession. It is not everyone that you see in life driving, living in a very beautiful neighborhood, then automatically you think that the person is stress-free, enjoys life. Some of us, whenever we make love to our spiritual husbands, it's like I am giving birth all over again. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our sister. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world.